Good afternoon or good evening. Maybe good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Prof.
For your own. Don't give to any other people who are not in this class. Okay. And focus group. I think here there's some example, but basically example here is for like a new product. Before they begin to sell their products, they may try to have a focus group, like a final check, how to maybe they will improve, get some opinions from the potential consumers to improve their products. So you can see here the example is about paper towel brand preferences. So here just an example, okay? For this PPT, I think we may just look at check the procedure here, the procedure to conduct focus groups. The first thing is try to recruit the right person, recruit the right person for this focus group. So they use a screener. Maybe they for this for example in this PPT, maybe they have a target market, so they need to use a screener. Here's an example for the screener to get the people, the participants they want. Okay. So this is the first thing, or the first step, recruit. Try to get the right person. In the social studies or in the public health, I think let me open another screen. Okay, I think here, focus group, you can also have a look at fundamentals of qualitative research methods, focus groups. I think here they provide some suggestions about how to recruit participants. So we can have a look to check the details. So it depends on the research purposes. So the criterion might be different. So it depends on the research purpose. Then the most important thing is to prepare the discussion guide. Or you may want to prepare some materials. For example, the example in this PPT, they may prepare some paper towels to provide a trial for the participants, and to ask what's their feeling or their thoughts after they use the products. And then the key person in the focus group is the moderator, the moderation of the group. And then after that, after the focus group, sometimes the researcher may need to provide debriefing if they tell the participants too many details earlier. This may influence their opinions. So maybe only after the focus group, then they may provide some debriefing about the purpose of this focus group. And then they will do the analysis and reporting. For example, do the transcript, do the analysis. Okay, I think this 21 minutes here, fundamentals, provide some major points for all these procedure or steps. You may have a look to check it out. And for the further reference, for example, here getting the right participants to show up. Here also provide some suggestions or advice for how to recruit participants. Okay, and here there are three demonstrations of the focus group. Here, more information here. Oh no, not this one. Here, the #1 focus group moderator in the world, and also this one, mock demonstration. And the third one is this one. This is quite long, longer than 1 hour. Cell phone. This one use cell phone as a target market, a target product to do the focus group. So here are 3 examples. And I put a question for you to answer. Which one is better? I mean, these two. I would like you to have a quick look at these two, and then try to see which one is better, and then please explain your answers. But in fact, listen carefully. Listen carefully. If you don't have time, the answer is here. Good and bad qualities for conducting qualitative research. Here, this video provide comments to this video, so you can get information as your reference to answer this question. Okay, I hope it's clear for you to save your time. Okay, and I think I introduced all the materials here. Okay, this one for Taiwanese students, this one like 5 minutes. Let's explain in Chinese. You can have a look. And this is a reading materials. This is how to develop focus group questions. The outline, discussion outline. It's the reading materials. If you are interested, you can have a look. Okay. And I think maybe we can start. And here's also some suggestions about how to moderate a focus group. Some skills you may pay attention to. And also they may provide some suggestion or some things you may avoid to do in a focus group if you are a moderator. And this one, 6 minutes. I hope you can take your time to watch this 6 minutes, and also this one. Then I believe that you will have probably you will have a quick make sense of the focus group, a quick understanding of the focus group. This focus group may not be so difficult as you imagine. Sometimes it's like a chatting with a group of people, but just still need have some skills there. Okay. Then I think we will practice, and at the same time, I will demonstrate the focus group. So you may prepare a pencil or a paper. You can write down your thoughts, because in this practice, you will take turn to say something. So please participate in the practice. Please say something when we take turn for you to speak. But if you cannot speak, for example, your microphone is not available, maybe you can write, you can type your response to the chat box, or I may open a discussion forum in Tron class for you to write down, to reply, or to contribute your thoughts. Okay, and at the same time, we will have a look at this film. This is a Coursera course. Also, if you are interested in this data collection, there are other materials here. You can have a look if you like. If you like qualitative data collection, I think in order to have a sound, let me share the screen again.
Discussion is a lot like planning interviews. The structure of your guide will be similar, but it'll be shorter.
Okay, so at the beginning, the instructor mentioned that when we prepare an online discussion outline, is kind of similar to the interviews. That's the reason I put these types of data collection, qualitative data collection, together in this week and next week.
Remember, you want your participants to talk to each other, so your intervention should be brief. You'll start with a warm-up, follow with descriptive opening questions, get into.
Okay, so the first usually before the warm-up question or introduction question, I would usually the moderator will say something about the research, and also that tell the participants how long will be this focus group. For example, maybe usually it will take about 1.5 hours or 2 hours, but I don't think usually they will not longer than 2 hours. Longer than 2 hours will be too long. So maybe usually maybe there will be you will take about 1.5 hours or 2 hours, and to let the participants know the purposes of the research.
Into deeper core questions, and then move to less sensitive questions and close the discussion. One key difference is that you'll need to describe the study and gain consent with participants individually before beginning the group dynamic. You want to be sure that each participant has a chance to ask any questions they might have and give consent before starting the group discussion.
To get a consent, I think that's important. But for today's practice, if you have any concern or you for the participation in the practice, you can let me know. You can line to me in private, and I will know that. Okay. Otherwise, I will suppose that all of you can give me the consent to invite you to participate in the practice of the focus group.
Your introduction to the group should briefly describe the study.
Yeah, that's an introduction to briefly describe this study. Okay, let me demonstrate. For example, hello everyone. Thank you for coming to this focus group. Today's the focus group will take about maybe 1.5 or 1 hour and 20 minutes. And the major purpose of this focus group is to try to get your thoughts and ideas about the recreational activities, particularly when we try to plan or when we try to design, arrange the recreational activities, but somehow the plan or the activities may go too much. I mean, maybe we don't pay attention to a time, or for some reason, just they're like indulgent or just like excessive nature, something like that. So today's topic will try to get some opinions or thoughts about this. You don't have to provide your personal experiences if that's too sensitive for you. You can provide just some of your observations. For example, from your friends, from your other relatives, whoever. So then they won't be so sensitive for you when you provide your opinions. So that's a brief introduction of the purpose of today's focus group.
Introduce the study staff, usually the moderator.
Sometimes, in addition to the moderator, like right now I'm the moderator, sometimes you may have some assistants to help you record the time, help you to take notes about as a observation to observe the focus group. But nowadays, maybe we can use video recording, because that's important to observe, to see the body language, something like that. But today's, that's a challenge for us to conduct the focus group online, because we cannot have the eye contact, we cannot see the body language. So that's a disadvantage to conduct focus group online. So that's more difficult. So hope you can help me to to have this focus group. But maybe there's also some advantage, because you can have your feedback by writing, or that's okay. At the same time, you can use your PC to check out some information and to help you answer my question. That's fine. So then we can broaden the information we can get. So maybe still there's some benefit to have the focus group online. And then particularly, we have both participants from Taiwan and Indonesia. Otherwise, that's quite impossible. We can have people from Taiwan and also Indonesia at the same time in the same classroom. That's quite difficult. Okay, so maybe if we have the focus group in the classroom, we will introduce other staff or assistants.
And a note taker, and give participants a sense for what to expect. What will you be discussing? How long will it take? What's your role as the moderator? Explain that you'll be asking the group to answer questions and perhaps engage in some activities. Highlight that you're not the...
Sometimes in the focus group, we may design some activities to help the participants to have some thoughts. So it's depends on the research purposes. For example, I had experiences in focus group to discuss the motivation, the motives of the spectator sports. I think I introduced this in this class. Oh, I'm not sure. Maybe yes or maybe not. Maybe yes. Oh, next week. Okay. Anyway, then for this topic, I may show some photos or videos or pictures to the participants, and hopefully those materials or activities can inspire some thoughts from the participants. So that's possible that in a focus group, maybe the researchers will arrange some activities.
Expert. You're there to learn from them. During your introduction, let participants know how you might guide their participation. I usually say something like this. In groups like this, I always find that some people are quite talkative, while others tend to be quiet. Whatever your natural style is, I really want to hear.
Okay, I think probably this can be use this as a very good example, like an exemplar. I think maybe every focus group, they can use this to announce. So some people might be quite talkative, and others tend to be quiet. But whatever your natural style is, I just really want to hear from every one of you. And so if you have already contributed a lot, please don't take it personally if I ask you to let others to speak. And if you have been quiet, I may call on you, but I don't mean to put you on the spot. I just want to make sure we hear from everyone. Okay, so this is like a general announcement at the beginning of the focus group. You can use this as an exemplar if you want to have a focus group, and also you will be the moderator.
hear from each and every one of you. So if you've already contributed a lot, please don't take it personally if I ask you to let others speak. And if you've been quiet, I may call on you. I don't mean to put you on the spot. I just want to make sure we hear from everyone. Next, you want to discuss some ground rules for the group. As a general principle, your ground rules should include valuing the contributions of each member of the group, not interrupting or talking over other participants, and confidentiality, not repeating what was said in the discussion to people outside the group.
Okay, this is also important, confidentiality. So you may tell the participants, don't not repeating what was said in a discussion to people outside the group.
Not talking over each other is key, or transcription will be difficult.
Transcription.
Next,
Transcription is in a step of the data analysis. So that's very important. We need to know who say what.
Participants to introduce themselves, first names only. I sometimes ask them to select a pseudonym. So I have transcripts with J-Lo and Madonna. Use this as an icebreaker. Why did they choose the name they did? Use the introduction time to learn something about each participant.
But for this class, the practice, because we are recording, so that's easier to recognize who is speaking.
Ask them to say something about themselves that's related to the study question. If your project.
So later, I will first like you to introduce yourself, but don't be don't feel too much pressure. I just want to know your background, whether you are familiar with the field of leisure and recreation, or your educational background, or your interest, your leisure interest, something like that.
On infant nutrition, ask them to say something about their baby.
Because these questions, these introduction questions, self-introduction questions, is related to today's topic. Today's topic of focus group.
Go around the circle and ask everyone to speak in turn. This is probably the only time you'll do this, but it gives everyone a chance to talk right from the start. Establish dialogue. Ask a follow-up question or two for each participant to set the tone of the discussion and establish your role.
Later, when you speak, or if you want, you can type your answer and I can read aloud for you. But when you speak, please don't speak a little bit slowly. Don't speak too quick.
Like interview questions, focus group questions should be open-ended. They should sound conversational, using words that participants would normally use, not technical terms or jargon.
Conversational words, I think this is also important. But sometimes it's maybe also related to the participant's background. So if the participants, when they attend the focus group, they have a similar background, then sometimes a little bit professional or jargon or terminology, I think it's okay. For example, our class is topics of leisure and recreation, and we have just given have assignment, a discussion topic about what's the difference between leisure and recreation. So maybe you already have some understanding or idea about the definition of recreation. So I think it still depends. But generally, we will prefer to use conversational words. No technical terms or jargon.
Your questions should be short, clear, and one-dimensional. And above all, they should promote discussion. Try not to use leading questions. They should be non-judgmental and non-directive. You don't want to suggest right or wrong answers. Avoid dichotomous yes/no questions or questions that would lead to
maybe this, although here there are some suggestions for the focus group or even for the interviews, but sometimes it's not easy. So that's the reason next week I will give you the practice assignment to interview someone using interview outline. I will give you for you to practice, but pay attention to these suggestions. I think these suggestions can be also applied into the interview situations.
Short, discrete responses. If you're using activities, be sure to script clear, well thought out directions ahead of time. Your opening questions should begin to introduce your topics of interest, but the most important thing during this phase of the discussion is to build discussion and a good group dynamic. Pose the questions to the group, not individuals. Try to engage all participants, but be careful about being at the center of the discussion. Ultimately, you want participants to engage with each other, ideally with little intervention from the moderator. This opening section of the focus group is a great time to include scenarios or activities. We'll come back to this idea shortly. By the time you transition to your main questions, the group dynamic should already be well established. The questions should focus on your aims, what you really want to learn. These questions will take longer to discuss than those that came in the opening section. Be sure to leave enough time for discussion. Sequence these questions so you're going from general to specific topics, and if you're asking about both positive and negative issues, always begin with the positive. Closing questions are very important in focus group discussions. This is where participants give you their conclusions based on the discussion. They may have shared contradictory views during the discussion, so it's important for analysis that you ask what they think in the end. Kruger and Casey call this the all things considered question. Summary questions are also key. As the moderator, try to summarize what you heard during the discussion of key questions and ask participants if you got it right. Ask them for additions or subtractions. The final question should remind participants of the main purpose of the study and ask if there's anything else that they think is important.
Okay, in the end of the focus group, sometimes we will provide some opportunity for the participants to provide anything else they may think of and they want to speak out. And because sometimes at this stage, maybe there will be some interesting or important ideas that will come out.
In the Adolescent Pregnancy Prevention Project, we asked, what do you wish adults knew about what it's like to be a teenager today? We got some interesting comments about how parents don't seem to realize that the world is different now than it was when they grew up. I think this is common everywhere, but in this case, it gave us a lot of insight into the size and nature of the generation gap in Paraguay. I think I've commented before that today's teens are the first in several decades who have not experienced dictatorship.
Okay, and then in the end of the focus group, after we provide the final chance for the participants to express their opinions, then we will go and proceed to ask whether participants have any questions about today's research. I mean, here the question is related to the purpose of the research or any procedure or any process of the research, not the content of research topics. And then if there's no any concern, then we'll have some like a ritual to say goodbye and appreciation for the participants' time to come to this focus group. Sometimes, if the focus group is conducted in a classroom, sometimes you may prepare some food or snacks or a beverage and then drink, and then you may ask them to continue to have some food and relax, have a chatting with other participants, and then we will finish the focus group. Sometimes at this time, if you prepare some gift for the participants, it's also the time to give the gift, and then say goodbye and have a safe traffic to go home. Okay, another issue about the focus group is whether to give the discussion outline earlier. Maybe there's some people may say yes, some people may say no, but I think it's a good things and bad things about these methods. So it depends. It depends on the research purpose. If you think the question is difficult and you want the participants to think about those questions and discuss in the focus group, then that's fine. You can give the questions earlier. But if you think you want to get the intuitive answer or response in a focus group, then you may just ask in a focus group, and you will not give the question, because if they think too much beforehand, maybe that's not the answer you want. That's not a response you want. You just want to get the immediate the response. So that depends. It depends on the research purpose. But for today's practice, I think maybe it's better for you to think of the question. So I would like to give you the discussion outline right now, and then we will take a 10 minutes break, and then we'll come back to practice the focus group in the third hour. So during the break, I will give you the discussion outline, discussion questions, and then you may have a look and think of them, and then please back at maybe 10 minutes after 6 Taiwan time. Okay, let's take a break.